It is nearing the end of October, the beginning of fall. Well, fall is here, definitely. Um, Figured I would just go live and kind of do a walkthrough as much as I can do in lieu of my bad internet, in lieu of, the problems that I have all the time. I'm just glad you all are here. Of course, I'm Terry, and this is going to serve as sort of a October orchid walkthrough update, kind of pointing out stuff that need to be pointed out. If I can remember, this is a species right here. This is my Barcaria. It is mounted over there. You can kind of see the spike further developing. These are, they grow well mounted. They have to be mounted for the most part. They like highlight and cooler, highlight and dry conditions in the wintertime, which is when they bloom. And then when the new growths start along the stem, generally that's when you start watering the plant. That is Barcaria spectabile. And where is I know that's Barcaria spectabile. I'm not going to worry. Um, that's my Eucale Encyclia citrina that's maturing the growth. Um, some of these newly mounted Brassavolas have newly formed roots that are nice and green tipped. Here is that freak little bloom that is very, very much early. That is a hybrid cross that is Primulinum, Dendrobium primulinum crossed with Anosmum, I think. Some of these up here are really just resting, maturing their pseudobulbs. Some of these encyclias. Um, that's my Dendrobiums up here, my Docorillas. This should be putting forth some buds pretty soon. This is my Docorilla Schoenina. And over on this side, again, these are Brassavolas, Cattleyas, and Cyclias that are maturing their growths. And these over here along this wall pretty much are just my bifoliates that the majority of them have sheaths and can bloom anytime. This is generally the season for these Cattleyas to bloom right here. This is my SLC Sin Bowie Lady JT, and I have another one of those that's right behind here that you can see. There's a sheath there. It's got this growth still, and then there's that growth. Hey Sharon, thanks for watching. And then here's that bifoliate that still has root tips. This is my Bogranjana, not my Bogranjana, but this is my Guatemalensis. So yeah, it's nice to still see root tips this late in the season. This is my Gyrac Kiku right here. Still got roots going. Still new growths. That up here is my Schoenorchis junkifolia. It's got new growths coming up that way. There's one up that way with root tips. Good, good, good. Yeah, nothing really going on over this way except for, honestly, the only thing going on is this right in front of me, which is my Stanhopea rickenbackiana, which we've all seen. And that spike right there is looking kind of suspect. I should probably give this a little drink. That looks a little dry. But that is definitely looking really nice. Everything over here looks nice. Hey, Gabriele. Nice new little growth over here. Down here, I've got my Sunny Delight times Richard Mueller that's mounted right here. There's a sheath right there. There's another sheath right there. Yeah, it's slowing down, but um, things are still happening. Things are still happening. This is my Cattleya chocolate brown, which is basically, I think it's a form of Rojo, LC Rojo. Well, it's tagged as EPC Charlie Brown, but it's like a Rojo. It has some Milleri in it. It's got that sheath there, and then it's got this nice new growth here. Up here, I did notice this is my Beppy Phoenix right here. Beppy Phoenix Kona. And this latest growth up here has a sheath in it. And I'm not going to pull it down. Well, maybe I will pull it down because it's so big. Okay, so this is the latest growth. And you see, it might actually be more than a sheath there, but that is definitely a sheath. You all can see that, right? So that's completely exciting. Those are, gosh, that is so exciting. Those flowers are so spotted, dark purple on top of white. Purple lip spots. This that I recently put in this stump, that new growth is progressing up. You can see how it's pushed right here, which is a good sign. I was almost hoping that one of these other sheaths would do something, but it didn't. That's fine. Yeah, nothing really happening here or over there, up here. Just they're in need of water for sure. Let me look over here. These are some newly repotted Phalaenopsis that hang up on my wall up there, but that I'm going to hang back up soon. That's my Angraecum Scott. What is that? It's an Angraecum cross. And things are just really kind of just resting, maturing their pseudobulbs, their growths, my dendrobiums, my chysis. I know what I was going to show you over here, how these roots are nice and tipped. That's a good sign. What else down here? Not a whole lot. You can see the end of that spike kind of pushing buds. That's that Tetraspis Phalaenopsis. A lot of those Phalaenopsis look pretty good. You know, I'm going to turn the heater on today. In fact, I have my shields. I just need to assemble them and hang it up. Crazy. But it is keeping it above 60, so I'm enjoying that. That's where I want it to be. Keeps it 60, 60s at night, above 60, which is where it should be. Doesn't want to get it too cold through here. Down here, there's not much going on down here. Some of these bulbophyllums I just repotted from Bill Tom's. This bulbophyllum here has all those new growths coming up. kind of smallish growths compared to the others. This is my longifolium dark spot. You can see the spots, red spots there. It's characteristic. This showing buds right there. Nice. That's my chocolate drop crossed with little Toshi. That is my tenuous. You can see the spike right there. And I almost broke that spike off. And there's my Galleandra leptoceras with this flower right here. Slight little fragrance to it. Yeah, not much going on here. This is my species epidendrum. This is my Nocturnum, which has put up this new growth, and then there's another new growth over here. But the older growths, there is still developing spikes on those growths, like this one over here. You can see the tip of that. Slowly, slowly, slowly. What else did I miss back over here? Nothing really. Over here, nothing really. Yeah, nothing really. I'm gonna have to repot these two bulbophyllums. This one really, they both need it, but you can tell this one is suffering. You can see how the new growths are just very spindly, and you can see how the bottom of them are dark as opposed to how the older bulbs are. You can see how that's looking. So it's got to be the media is really bad, as opposed to this one, which is growing really, really nicely. Lots of nice new growths on it. Growing better, but still the media needs to be changed. Definitely needs to be changed and cleaned up a lot. So I'll do that today. Got to. Nothing really happening over here yet. Still got these spikes. I expect these to bloom late winter. This is my BC daffodil. It's got two growths that have sheaths, and it blooms reliably from each sheath. Nothing really happening over here with my Phalaenopsis. Some spikes still developing, leaf forming on my Schilleriana. It's very fragrant over here, that's for sure. These were watered really well last week. They really needed it. And as I said, I repotted some of these. But they are slowing down in their growth because of the colder weather, for sure. Nice. Nice. So yeah, I've been doing a little bit as well. Repotting just never ends, never ends. My Ingracum back here, this is my Infundibulare. Still looking nice back there. Those root tips are still looking nice. As opposed to my Viramense here, which I showed off the other day. It still has that spike right there. That's a spike. And it's got a root coming out right there, which is nice. Wish this one right here would get something. Guess it has new leaves, but I want to see a spike or something coming out of the stem. I'm almost thinking about mounting this because it's so dangly. And the roots are, there's more aerial roots than anything. So I'm honestly thinking about mounting that. That's my Eichlerianum. And yeah, look at this new growth that's just sitting right here. This is a new growth that is part of that plant. Bad. All right, let's look down here. Nothing really happening on this yet. Kind of looking for some signs of some new roots on this bulbophyllum that's been mounted on this piece of tree fern with a little bit of sphagnum added. But I'm not seeing any yet. It's been on here since the summer. This cross is Bobo Echinolabium times Beckery. And here's my Leonis just sitting there. What else? What else? Things are just kind of growing down here. I was hoping something would be developing in these sheaths on my Prostechia bacalis, but I'm not seeing anything. What else? Here's my other Angraecum that's looking really nice and sturdy in the pot. This does not look bad. I'm sure this has got to do to cold. That's that Vanda that I just potted up. And things are just kind of still growing over here. Yeah. There's not much really happening this month, to be honest. Things are transitioning from outside to inside, and that's how it is. Still have that flower to look forward to on that cross, which is said it a million times. Just very happy that it's blooming again for me. That's Yellowbird times Keweenaw Mendenhall. Roots are still just going crazy and wild, and it's got this new growth also as well going on. So it's really growing good for me. I'm still not sure what, but I'm just going to leave it alone. That's my Laelia anceps, but you can see how it's curving down. Hey, Kathy. Good to see you. Okay, anywho, I must have been very thirsty because that surely looks like a new growth. Hey, Gabrielle, I'm back. That definitely looks like that's going to be a new growth. Yeah, I doubt if that's going to be a spike. I'd be very surprised. But my Erides odorata still looks very nice. Smells very nice. Smells even better. Down here, my Nemoria is maturing its growths down here at the base really nicely. Some yellowing, probably because of the heat. I am definitely going to have to turn my heater on tonight because I'm sure that's what all of this yellowing is, because it's sitting right by the window. Funny, this Silogene cristata, which should have been dead years ago, it's trying. It's trying. There's my Silogene still. Well, I'm here. I'm still talking. Up here, these Brassavolas are looking very nice. All of them. We'll be seeing some bloom soon. That's my Brassavola perennii. You can see those buds there. Up there, that's my crazy arachno. That's got a couple new growths. Up there, that right there is my nodosa, and you can kind of see something sticking out there. That's my nodosa Godzilla. That's got the yellow fuchsia tag right there. Down below here, this is my Brassavola martiana. That's a species. It's got a new growth in here. Right here is David Sander, Brassavola David Sander. It's got that new growth and another one under there. This is my Brassavola cucullata that is recovering. That's a growth. And then there's another growth that's coming out. It's got roots finally on the mount, I believe, so I think it's going to be okay. This is my Subulofolia, which has several new growths. I do expect that to bloom sometime soon. And this is my Flagellaris that has this new growth. It's the latest. And that's another one that's across. And then here's one here. So I'm really happy this year with my Brassavolas. They are all looking special. Of course, I'm waiting on this to bloom. Should have bloomed already. It's got several sheaths along the plant, all these nice roots, and new growths coming. So we will see. Yeah, there's sheath. It should be filling up with buds. But that's pretty much it, really, for this month. My angraecums are kind of just hanging out. None of them are showing any spikes. That's my Christmas candle crossed with, I think that's called Christmas candle. But yeah, I'm really happy with my Brassavolas. Let me pull this one down. Just want to take a look at it. So this is George Tyler times cucullata. I'm only got that heater on right there. Tonight, I was telling Sharon, I'm going to finally put up my polyurethane. I got a longer and a wider one so that it goes from about here to about there, a sheet, and I'll hang it there. I'll move these, all these plants that are in the way, and of course, back here, I'll move that somewhere. But yeah, that's it. I plan on putting it on tonight for the first time this season. But yeah, this plant, I don't. Yeah, that's not a spike. But it looks like it could be. Nice size, new growth. I'm really happy. Yeah, I will, because it's going to get down. I probably in the. It's going to be cold all this week. It is going to be cold. So this will be the test of tonight. Will be the test to see if my circuits can handle the heater. My extra heaters on. So fingers crossed, guys. Everybody. What else? Yeah, this is my other Nemorea wallisii, which put up this growth this year. And I had noticed that you see this other little growth that is coming up down there. So, but still a baby compared to the bulbs that are next to it. But still hoping for the best with that. Anyway. Let me think if I've missed anything that's going on. I really need to mount this. Look at that. It just wants to. It's its own plant right now. Look at that. But I want to keep it together. I'm going to try to, at least. That little angraecum back there, my Joyce Stewart, is doing really well as well. Good thing. Good thing. This is not really looking so hot. This is my Subulofolia robusta. I've been talking about how the crown is probably going to rot, but I'm trying to keep the rest of the plant going so that I can get a side growth or something. Hopefully. hopefully. Yeah, that's probably about it for this month. Except let me